So let's talk about smart TVs. I think there's never been a better time to buy, not just because they've become less expensive, but really the fact that I think the market has changed a lot thanks to some important key players. See, in the past when there were only a few Japanese and Korean companies, you could choose to either pay a lot of money for high quality experiences or go for their less expensive offerings, but then with an insane amount of compromise. So your best option was to wait for the crazy Black Friday deals and get an expensive TV at a discount. Fast forward to 2026 and this spectrum has changed so much that have you noticed there's no longer pandemonium in stores during the holidays? Exactly. That's because of TVs like this one. This is the Hisense U7SG, what the company calls as the game changer, and what I'm going to call is probably one of the best smart TVs you can find at this price point, which is the main reason why I'm glad Hisense partnered with me to tell you more about it. I'm Jaime Rivera, and let's dive in. Let me start with the usual disclaimers. Yes, Hisense is sponsoring this video, but that's the main reason this is not a review. I'm going to give you a showcase of what this product is, but no worries, this is not an infomercial. I'll share the facts about why this product matters along with some of my experiences using it for the past 2 weeks, and you can decide if it's right for you or not. I've used Hisense TV since like 2019, so I've seen their progression over the years. I saw them help introduce Android TVs to the masses at the time, and back then I would have told you they were good for the money, but if you consider their offerings over the last 5 years or so, I'd say things have gotten into the hard-to-beat territory. See, Hisense is already #1 in sales in large-size options, and they're already garnering a lot of fame for being early adopters in new technologies and then bringing them to affordable price points. This Hisense U7SG is probably one of the best examples of what I'm talking about, mainly because this is not even their flagship, and yet brings features you only find on the flagship variants of its competitors. Let's start with the design, which is as minimal as it gets. The bezels from the top and sides are pretty minimal, and I love how they blend into the panel for reasons I'll explain soon. This is also a center-mounted TV with a pretty sturdy metallic base, so if you're thinking of placing it on a corner with minimal furniture, this is definitely your TV. The base has 2 height options in case your furniture is high or low, and hey, you can always just use a standard M6 VESA mount with this TV coming in pretty light at just 44 pounds without the base for the 65-inch model I have here. But yeah, let's talk about this panel, which is where I seriously feel you're getting flagship performance at its price point. This U7 ULED is a 4K panel that uses high QLED Mini LED Pro technology. Since each Mini LED is a 40th the size of a standard LED, this provides full array local dimming up to 3,000 zones depending on the model size you get. It provides great dynamic range, contrast, and clarity, so the experience using this TV is superb. It achieves brighter highlights and deeper blacks with a lot of punch, but then it nails something older TVs at this price point didn't get right, and that's peak brightness. This TV goes up to a crazy 3,000 nits, again, depending on the size model you get, and yet it also offers something you either won't easily find at this price or at its size, and that's anti-glare low reflection technology. This is actually a dual-layer surface treatment, which includes an anti-reflection layer for ultra-low reflectivity, and then a glare-free layer that provides the subtle matte texture you immediately notice. This helps double just how deep black colors reproduce, all while avoiding reflections and distractions. So yeah, the added peak brightness and this anti-glare approach means you can place this TV at any angle in your home. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about certifications. Given all the technologies included, yes, it's HDR10 Plus adaptive certified and Dolby Vision IQ to just name a few. It's also IMAX certified, so I don't even have to tell you how good the experience is for watching movies that were filmed for IMAX. And it even includes a filmmaker mode within the color settings for you to watch movies as intended. But then there are things that are hard to find elsewhere, like the fact that this TV is Pantone validated, meaning it can reproduce more than 2,500 Pantone colors. And yet, of course, this can't be a 2026 TV without AI baked in. On the inside, this TV includes a Hisense HiView AI Engine Pro chip, which supports multiple forms of AI experiences. When it comes to AI picture, there's an AI 4K upscaler, meaning instead of the TV downscaling to the content, it actually can do the opposite with pretty great results. AI depth then helps with content separation. AI scenario then helps the TV adapt to whatever scenario you're watching, meaning that while you can switch the different modes manually, the TV does the switching to movie, gaming, sports, animation, music, news modes, all for you. Also, an AI RGB light sensor helps this TV adapt to its environment to get a better picture regardless of the time of day or placement. Now, one of the most important features that's also enhanced by AI is sound. I mean, the hardware is here. This TV is DTS Virtual X certified and Dolby Atmos 212 multi-channel surround certified, meaning it provides rich sound from all angles and all tuned by Duvali. Yep, this means 2 speakers on each side and then a subwoofer in the center, pushing up to 60 watts of room-filling sound and more than enough clarity for commentary and crowd noise, making the experience pretty immersive. Since I've chosen to corner my TV in the living room, the experience overall has been just fantastic. Now, over the past couple of weeks, I've watched my favorite Nolan movies, which are all IMAX. I've spent my time watching some of my favorite Champions League games, even if, all my favorite teams got disqualified. Still, the picture quality and the sound are just ideal for immersive content or your favorite sports. It totally makes sense for this to be the partner FIFA is working with for the World Cup. So, if you're wondering what TV to get for literally the biggest tournament on Earth, here you go. But I'm still not done. Gaming is then another thing this panel gets just right. First of all, if you're tired of buying TVs with 4 HDMI outs but only 1 or 2 doing 2.1, this is your TV. All 4 connectors are HDMI 2.1, which is important because this TV is capable of 4K at 165Hz variable refresh rate, Dolby Vision gaming, HDR10 Plus gaming, AMD FreeSync Premium Pro, motion rate 480, and some size variants include Game Booster technology. I tested it both with my PS5 and my Nintendo Switch 2, and the experience was buttery smooth thanks to its advanced motion detection. No blur, lag, or smeared frames. This pretty much felt like if I was using a massive gaming monitor, except it's also a TV, has the size of a TV, and at a more reasonable cost for its multiple use cases. Seriously, the overall experience matched with the refresh rate was just too good. And actually, since I already started talking about connectivity, the HDMI is eARC and CEC, there's one LAN connector, one USB 3, one USB 2 connector, the typical RF antenna, one optical digital audio out, and then there's what you can do wirelessly. We're talking Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth, next-gen ATSC 3.0 to just name some. Regardless of what room you place it in, it's great for family movie night, watch parties, and elegant enough to sit front and center where you're hosting guests. Last but not least, Google TV on Hisense U7 is just fantastic. The TV's performance and just breezing through the menus is crazy fluid, and I can tell you it packs a ton of punch and RAM and storage because jumping between applications or picking up where I've left off has never been an issue. Actually, I think that one of the reasons the experience has been so pleasant is because of this controller. If you join me in hating those shortcut buttons that make it so easy for you to be yanked out of your content by accident, Hisense actually thought of it. They put them at the top, not at the bottom, so reaching out to them has to be intentional. By the way, the keys are backlit and connectivity was pretty epic as well. It was especially useful for all the new Gemini experiences. Since this TV was built for Gemini, moving around its different features has been pretty awesome and intuitive. From all the apps supported to the ambient wallpapers, Google TV is seriously my favorite platform, and Gemini has only augmented it. To conclude, what can I say? Again, this is not a review, but what I can tell you is you're going to have a hard time finding a competitor that matches this feature set at this price point. From its anti-glare screen, to the gaming perks, to all the picture and color certifications and quality, to how AI is here to make the viewing and listening experience better, to how FIFA is trusting the Hisense brand for its most important time that comes once every 4 years. Yeah, it's just too good. You can find it at 55, 65, 75, 85, 100, and 116 inches, with the 2 larger sizes including even more perks. I'll be sure to leave some links in the description, as I seriously think it's time for you to give Hisense a try if you haven't, with this U7SG being my top pick for most people. But hey, let me know if you agree with my assessment in the comments below. And while you're at it, please like, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments, as I'm sure you've seen me try to respond to as many as I can. Also follow me on social media as more behind-the-scenes work continues to happen there. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.